and good morning to all of you. So we were doing sources and to ancient Indian history, and in that sources we were doing foreign account. Foreign account. So as far as the foreign account is concerned, we have few references. Greek, Roman, Chinese, and Arabic. The most important is Herodotus. Called the father of history, has written a book, Historica. Herodotus never visited to India. हेरोडोटस कभी भारत नहीं आए और he wrote down about India the then time. He wrote an account on the basis of the sources that he collected from those travelers who came to India, who visited India, and then they narrated in their accounts. So on that basis, he wrote down, and in this book, we have a reference about that was at that time carried out between India and the then Roman Empire. If you see these Greek sources, then in these Greek sources we have the information about the invasion of Sikandar, or you can say Alexander the Great. One more person is there, Cassius. He was a doctor of Iran. He also wrote some accounts on India. In this book, Historica, we have a good number of information about India and Persia. The timeline of this book is roughly being to 500 BC. Please write down the timeline of the book Historica is roughly around 500 BC, and in this book a detailed account is given between India and the then Persia. Other Greek writers are there, and in that name is Niarchus, who was contemporary of Alexander. Aristobulus. These two Greek writers were contemporary to Alexander the Great, who is popularly known as Sikandar. Alexander, the Great, or Sikandar, Greek ambassadors like number one, Megasthenes, number two, Diomachus, and gentlemen, number three, Dionysius. After Alexander invasion, few Greek ambassadors came to the India. Number one, the very prominent Megasthenes, who came in the modern period. He came court of Chandragupta Maurya. Megasthenes came in the court of Chandragupta Maurya. Chandragupta Maurya, modern period. And his very important book is Megasthenes Indica. And in this book, a detailed information about modern period is provided. In this book, Indica, a detailed information about modern period is, gentlemen, not only the information about the modern period is provided, provides some information about South Indian history, and that is Sangam age. Will do. South Indian history, Sangam age. So Megasthenes also South Indian history, that what was the society, what was the condition of women in Sangam age, what was the belief system. Here in northern India, information about modern period. Further, also provides the information society, slavery, religion, all these information is given by Megasthenes. Beta, Megasthenes also provides the information that during that this society was divided in 7 castes. Please note down in your notebook. Megasthenes provides the information that the modern society was divided in caste. 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 Now this second ambassador, Dimachus. Dimachus came in the court of Bindusar. Dimachus came in Bindusar. Bindusar. Dionysius also came in the court of Bindusar. Greek ambassador Dimachus and Dionysius came in the court of Bindusar. Came in the court of Bindusar. Came in the court of Bindusar. Next foreign account is, one book is there written by Ptolemy. Here P is silent. Ptolemy wrote geography. Ptolemy wrote geography. This is written in Greek. One more book is there, and that is written as Periplus of the Erythraean Sea. One more book is there, Periplus of the Erythraean Sea. This book is written by anonymous. The name is yet not known. But this book is very, very important, because this book provides about Indian trade with the Roman Empire. Periplus. The timeline of this book is roughly between 80 to 115 AD. Very, very important, because this book provides a detailed information. आवाज कम कर दे. In this book, various ports are mentioned. Various ports. Some ports in South India, some ports in Western India. Various ports are mentioned. Various ports are mentioned. For example, the name of ports are mentioned as Beri Gaja, which is today's Bharuch, Barbericum, which is on the mouth of the river Indus. Muziris in South India. Muziris Tamrilipti, eastern part, Tamrilipti. All these ports are mentioned in this book, Periplus of the Erythraean Sea. The name of the writer is not known, but this book provides a detailed information. Clear? Clear? So this is the book Periplus of the Erythraean Sea. One more foreign source is there. One more source is there, and that source is Mr. Pliny. His book is Natural Historica. His book is Natural Historica. Pliny. His book is Natural Historica. Natural Historica. The timeline is 1st century AD. In this book, gentlemen, in this book, Indian minerals, Indian plants, Indian animals, Indian trade, all these things are mentioned in this book. Gentlemen, I would like to tell you one story. When Pliny came to India, the Indian trade with the Roman Empire, with Persia. And do you know, this trade was completely in favor of India. Why? Because the Indian goods, for the example, Indian ivory, spices, they were in such demand in the western part that in lieu of these items India was exporting, their goods were not much in demand. उनकी वस्तुओं की भारत में कोई मांग नहीं थी, लेकिन इंडियन गुड्स की बहुत डिमांड थी. So what was the result? The result was that they people were bringing their bullion. Bullion कहते हैं precious metals, gold, silver. They were bringing the bullions, gold, silver, to buy the Indian goods. So Pliny writes in this book that all the bullion reserve of Roman Empire, Greek Empire is coming to India. And he is crying, roar. He is writing in this book. Such was the prosperity of India at that time. And do you know the most important item in the spices? That was pepper, Kali Mirch. Kali Mirch was such in demand, popular in the western part, that it was called Yavan Priya. It was called Yavan Priya, means ki priya. Yavan Priya and this question has been asked in the prelims. Which one of the following item was called or known as Yavan Priya? The answer is pepper. Kali was known as the Yavan Priya. So these are few Greek sources, and this Natural Historica is written in Latin language. Latin language. Clear? Few people you are asking, sir, don't all the facts in very beginning. Beta, the topic is sources to study Indian history, the very first topic. Sources, ancient Indian history. प्राचीन भारत के बारे में जानने के स्रोत. तो whosoever wrote about ancient Indian history, we have to read it here. Here there is no any fight, struggle about any chronology. We have to know who all wrote and what all. Exam, they are asking the name of book, writer and description. After this will come to the Stone Age. Then will come to the Chalcolithic or Chalcolithic age. Then will come to the Jason. Then will come to the Rigvedic period. Okay? And then will come to the later Vedic period. Then will come to the rise of Mahajanpadas, 600 BC. That means second urbanization. Then will come to the rise of. Then will come to the Mauryan Empire. Then will come to the later Mauryan Empire. Then will come to the Gupta period. And then will come to the later Gupta period, rise of feudalism and period of Harshvardhana. After this, will enter into the early medieval, which is popularly known as rise of Rajput period. And then we'll tell you the formula P square C square. Origin of Rajput. 1 P for Parmar, 1 P for Pratihar, 1 P for Chauhan, and 1 C for Chauhan, and 1 C for Chalukyas. Clear? So this is all very important for us from exam, because see, this question has been asked. Which one of the following item was known as Yavan Priya? Pepper, Kali Mirch. Clear? Now, see, so after Pliny, the Greek sources is over. So again I repeat, these Greek sources, Herodotus, Niriacus, Aristobulus, then you have to know Megasthenes, then you have to know Diomachus, you have to know Dionysius, and then you have to know Pliny, then you have to know Ptolemy. All the one more is there, C plus of the Erythraean Sea. So these are the Greek sources, Latin sources, on the basis of which we come across the ancient Indian history about society, economy, and all. Now, after the Greek or Latin sources, we'll come to the Chinese sources. Very interesting. Nowadays it is in news so much. China. As far as the very first Fahian. Don't think that before this there is no information. Yes. From time immemorial, India had administration, and people were coming from there to here and from. As far as the sources to a study of ancient Indian history is concerned, it starts with the traveler. who noted down their account, their description. So in that series, Fahyan is there. And this Fahyan, gentlemen, he came during the period of Gupta ruler, and the Gupta ruler was Chandra Gupta Vikramaditya. Vikramaditya was basically his title. Original name was Chandragupta II. He came during his period. He went to Nalanda University. And there he studied Buddhism. He also collected books on Buddhism. The very important point is that no political information is provided. Point to be noted here, no political information provided. Then what is provided? Gentlemen, exactly only information about the then society, the then economy, the then religious belief. All these information is provided by Fahyan. By Fahyan. Clear? हाँ, क्या हुआ? कुछ कह रहे हो? चाय दे दो, चीनी थोड़ा कम रहे, शुगर फ्री मत डालना, शुगर नहीं है हमें, लेकिन चीनी कम रहे. पानी पिलवा दो प्लीज, किसी को बोल दो. नहीं, कोई भी पानी दे दो, पता नहीं कब का. So, see, as far as, gentlemen, the society is concerned, see, a very important peculiar information. He writes that in the society there was a group of untouchable, and they were called Chandalas. All the menial work were done by them. See the information. Not only this. He also writes that when they used to come into the city, जब वो शहर में आते थे, beating drum, dum 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 dum, duk 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 duk. They used to beating drum. क्यों? ताकि लोग रास्ता खाली कर दें. This information is given by Fahyan about it. 4 Varnas were there, we know, from the Vedic period onwards. Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and the Sudras. In other terms, you can say he talks about this 5th one group in the society. And they were untouchable. Not only this, Fahyan also writes, gentlemen, hello everybody, Fahyan writes that in the society, खिचड़ी आज भी आप लोग खाते होंगे, अंग्रेजी मीडियम वालों का तो नहीं कह सकता, हो सकता है इसको येलो राइस कहते हो, बट खिचड़ी, खिचड़ी was the most famous staple dietary element. Not only this, he also writes that in day-to-day business, people use a medium of exchange. In economic aspect, people used what? Kauri. Do you know kauri? नहीं मालूम आप लोगों को. Kauri is आज की डेट में you can say those some small cells. Okay, kauri cells was used as a medium of exchange in daily practices. Clear? So all these information is given by Mr. Fahyan. Clear? See, 2018 mains question was reconstruct the ancient Indian basis of the Chinese account. So see, this much you have to write down one paragraph by Fahyan. Clear? Should I move further? Yes. Next. Huan Sang. Gentlemen, Huan Sang is called Prince of Travelers. Sang is called Prince of Travelers. यात्रियों का राजकुमार. Why he is called यात्रियों का राजकुमार? Was he very sundar? No. Actually, when Huan Sang came to India, at that time, in China, there was an official order not to leave China. Again, I repeat, when he came to India, at that time in China, there was an official order not to leave China. You would be surprised to know that it was his will, that determination that he alone passed China and came to India. He stayed in India almost 16 years. 16 years he stayed in India. He went to university. There he studied Mahayana Buddhism. He studied Mahayana Buddhism. Will tell you in Buddhism, Mahayana, Hinayana, various sects are there. Vajrayana, Mahasanghik, Sthirvadin. So he studied Mahayana Buddhism. And he wrote down in his memory that this Mahayana Buddhism sect was at that time very much popular. Very much popular. He wrote down. He also wrote down that 18 sects were there of Buddhism. Are gentlemen, Nalanda, Takshashila, they were very old. One person is not credited to build Nalanda University. Clear? So now, very much popular sect was Mahayana Buddhism. Hello? This Nalanda University, later on called by the people as Oxford of Mahayana. Later on, in modern times, it was called Oxford of Mahayana. अब आप लोग कह दोगे सर ऑक्सफोर्ड कहाँ था एंशिएंट हिस्ट्री में? भाई मॉडर्न कंपैरिजन। ओके जेंटलमैन, यूनिवर्सिटी Huensang writes, not Huensang writes, at the entry gate of Nalanda University, an entrance test was organized by Dwarpal. At the entry gate, an entrance test was organized by Dwarpal. Dwarpal means Dwarpal Rakshak. Gatekeeper, you can say. Clear? Dwarpal. Such higher standard of education was there. See our ancient heritage. Okay? Now here, Huensang also writes about Chalas. Huensang also writes about untouchable. Means the information of untouchable and Chandalas are given by these Chinese travelers. Huensang collected so many books and was going back to China. On the way he was looted. रास्ते में उसे लूटा डाकुओं द्वारा. When he reached China, he used to tell this story about India to his students. Then his students said, "Sir, I want to rewrite your memory." He said, "Okay, no problem." That memory by the students of Mr. Huensang is known as the book, the life. Yes, few political information is given by Mr. Huensang. Huensang provides the information that Harshvardhan was the follower of Buddhism. One information. And second information is that he, means Harshvardhan, organized a great Buddhist council. A great Buddhist council at Kannauj. The information is given by Mr. Huensang. Though Harshvardhan himself writes in his autobiography, in his book, that he was the follower of Saivism. He used to worship Shiva, Lord Shiva. But this information is given by Huensang. Huensang also writes that the total income of Harshvardhan was divided in 4 parts. Harshvardhan income means state income at that time. So this is the information available on the basis of Mr. Huensang and Fahyan. Next Chinese traveler is Itzing. He came at the, not at the, he came in the end of the 7th century AD. He also studied at number 1 Nalanda and number 2 Vikramshila University. He writes about Indian dress, writes about Indian food habits, write about Indian agriculture. All these information is given by It Singh. It Singh. ITSING. It Singh. It Singh. Clear? Some sources that are given in our ancient Indian history. One more important is there, Arabic sources. So note down, It Singh. So this part is over. Sources to study ancient Indian history is over, and also important from your exam point of view. Now, as we have done yesterday, in the classification of history, prehistory, proto-history, and then history. So here we are going to start our prehistory. As you know, what all are the sources to study? So sources is excavations, and then after excavations, explorations. As such, we have no any written source. So what happened exactly? When the excavation and the explorations was carried out, the result was discovery of various types of stone and stone tools were discovered. Various types of stones and stone tools were discovered. Gentlemen, on the basis of this period is referred as stone age. Stone age. Clear? So on this basis, this Stone Age is classified as this period is called Paleolithic age. This is called Mesolithic age, and this is called Neolithic age. Okay. Further, this Paleolithic age is divided this is called Lower Paleolithic, this is called Middle Paleolithic, and this is called Upper Paleolithic. In Hindi, it is called Pura-Pasan Kaal. It is called Madhya-Pasan Kaal, and this is called Nav-Pasan Kaal. Lower Paleolithic means Nira-Pasan Kaal, Uch-Pura-Pasan Kaal, Madhya and Uch. So this is the period. Now the question is, what is the basis? What is the basis of classification? What is the basis of classification? Hello, gentlemen. Basis is types of stone. Basis is types of stone. And stone tools. In Paleolithic age, the stone that was used was quartz. In Mesolithic age, chert, jasper, these stones were used. And in Neolithic age, igneous rock was used. Example, basalt. Example, dolomite. Again I repeat, the stone is classified on the basis of types of stone and types of stone tools. On the basis of stone and stone tools, the Stone Age is classified in three periods: Paleolithic age, Mesolithic age, and Neolithic age. Further, On the basis of the tools, this Paleolithic age is classified as lower Paleolithic, middle Paleolithic, and upper Paleolithic. As far as the stone is concerned, here quartz, Paleolithic, in Mesolithic chert, jasper, in Neolithic, some sort of igneous rocks were used. Okay? So now, let us see what type of tools were there in lower Paleolithic. In lower Paleolithic, if you see, then you will find out hand axe, cleaver, chopper. These were the tools. Here in Middle Paleolithic, the tools were flake, here in Upper Paleolithic, blade, burin. These were the tools. Flake kya hai? What is flake? Take this as a stone. One part is sharp. Then this is called flake, and blade आप रोज दाढ़ी बनाते हैं, दोनों तरफ शार्प होता है. ब्यूरिन, दराती, जो आजकल ड्रिल आती है सुराख करने वाला, बहुत नुकीला ब्यूरिन. Here in the Mesolithic age, tools become smaller in size and shape. When tool becomes smaller in size, therefore it is called microlith. When I am using the word lith means stone. Lithic stone. Microlith. And these tools were geometrical in shape and size. Geometrical design. Clear? So hand were in lower Paleolithic, flake in middle Paleolithic, and in upper Paleolithic, blade. In Mesolithic period, the tools become smaller. Therefore, they are called microlith, and the tools became geometrical in design. See here on the board. And one more thing I would like to tell you, don't go fast timeline here, because this is the development after the age of glacier. Ice age के बाद का development है 5 million years ago. So no need to mug it up, just you have to know this is the classification. जहां timeline होगा वो मैं बताऊंगा. Wherever the timeline would be required, surely I will tell you, and I will tell you in Indus Valley civilization onwards. Clear? So this is the tool and stone. More than that is not required. Unnecessary, don't go in detail. This much is very, very much sufficient. Clear? I would like to tell you now the economy. Can I move to the next slide? Yes, I can move. Now let us see what was the economy. Very, very interesting now. What was the economy? What was the economy? This is Paleolithic. This is Mesolithic. And this is Neolithic. In Paleolithic, this is lower Paleolithic. This is middle Paleolithic. And this is upper Paleolithic. Now see. I left the tools in the Neolithic period because that will be clear from here. Now, see, in lower Paleolithic period, beta, they were doing hunting. Food gathering. And they used to doing what? Fishing. This hunting continued, food gathering continued. It was also continued here. But here, one more thing was added, and that was beginning of use of bone in lower Paleolithic. They were doing hunting, food gathering, fishing. It was continued initially. Here in the upper Paleolithic, which is a part of Paleolithic, beginning of bone tools. Beginning of here in Mesolithic. Continue. Beginning of use of arrow and bowl. Leave the तीर मारने लगे. See, very interesting. What happened here in the Mesolithic period? During the end phase, later part, very important development took place, and that is domestication, herding. बोन टूल्स मीन्स हड्डियों के उपकरण. अभी तक पत्थरों के ही बन रहे थे. Why names are written downward? I am not getting. What does it mean? What type of names are written downward? This you are seeing. Hand axe, then cleaver, then chopper. अरे भाई जगह नहीं तो कहां लिख दूं? यहां पे मिडिल पेलोलिथिक है तो यही तो लिखूंगा बेटा, ऊपर नीचे. ये कोई क्रोनोलॉजी नहीं है. This is the tools. Now see here, in the last phase, domestication माने पशुपालन प्लस हर्डिंग माने पशुओं को चराना, खिलाना पिलाना started in the Mesolithic period. Clear? See here. Very interesting. It is like you are feeding me. तो someone किसी ने आपको सलाह दिया कि केवल खिलाते पिलाते ही क्यों हो सर को पालतू बना लो, अपने घर में रख लो. बहुत बढ़िया. फिर किसी ने सलाह दिया होगा, दिमाग आया होगा कि सर को खिला रहे हो, पिला रहे हो, पाल रहे हो, तो कुछ काम वाम कराओ ना सर से. तो तुमने कहा अच्छा. तो आपने कहा सर चलिए पढ़ाइए. तो यहां किसको पाल रहे हैं? पशुओं को. तो क्या कराने लगे? बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग डेवलपमेंट. सी, बिगिनिंग ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर. agriculture. And here, the first reference of agriculture is Mehergarh, which is in Balochistan, and from here wheat and barley, these two crops were produced. See here. Later surplus and this storage gave birth to what? Pottery. मिट्टी के बर्तन. Skill development. Stop writing. A very interesting story I am going to tell you. Very interesting, very, very, very interesting story I am going to tell you. Just you see the beauty. Slowly and gradually very surplus. This gave birth to non-agriculture activity. Means craft on one hand and see on the other hand, very surplus. Result is what? Exchange. Exchange where? जब आप स्कूल में ज्यादा पराठा लेके आते हो तो एक्सचेंज करते हो, तो क्या करते हो? थोड़ा सब्जी थोड़ा शुरू होता है तो एक्सचेंज where? To nearby areas through river mode. This resulted on the bank of river rise of what? Settlement. And this rise of settlement. Hello. This rise of settlement gave birth to Indus Valley civilization. Indus Valley civilization. Indus Valley civilization. This is the reason. See the main question. Early agricultural pastoral communities paved the background rise of IVC comment. See, this is what? This is pastoral community. This is what? Agricultural community. This is what? Resulting what? This exchange bill resulted into what? Trade and commerce. Bank of the river, rise of settlement, which gives birth to IBC. Don't you think so? Let's see such a remarkable development. The people who were here nange punge, fishing, hunting, food gathering, gradually evolved and started agriculture. Pottery, stone to छोड़ो, pottery, मिट्टी के बर्तन आ गए, settlement. Don't you think it is a very remarkable development? Yes, this is the reason it is called Neolithic Revolution. It is called Neolithic Revolution. Initial reference of agriculture, Mehergarh, Balochistan. This is developed. Can I move to the next slide? So examples of Neolithic age sites. Some sites are there. Number one, Mehergarh, and this is Balochistan on the bank of the river Bolan. From here, first reference of agriculture, and that is wheat and barley. Next example is Koldihiwa. This is a place in Gangetic Valley near Allahabad. We have wild rice. Wild rice. Third one is Chirand. Chirand is in Bihar. Next, Neolithic Burzholm, Jammu, Kashmir, and the fifth one is Guf Karal. This is also in from Burzholm and Guf Karal. We have reference of pot burial practice. Only this much information is required. Neolithic example Mehergarh. First reference of agriculture, wheat and barley. Koldihiwa, Chirand, here wild rice, Koldihiwa. And this is also called Kashmir Neolithic sites. Kashmir Neolithic sites. Next is pottery in Neolithic age. This pottery is black and red ware. So this is all about Neolithic age. Clear? So next is, after proto-history, after Stone Age, next is Chalcolithic or Chalcolithic age. As the name suggests, what happened exactly? Stone Age is there. In the Stone Age, डिलीवरी ऑफ फायर, आग जलने से जो आसपास के मेटल थे वो बेटा मेल्ट हो गए और पत्थर से चिपक गए। आग जली, आसपास एरिया में आग पकड़ी, तो जो मेटल थे दैट वाज मेल्टेड and got fixed with stone, and this gave birth to Chalcolithic age. Means what? Chalcolithic means copper plus stone. Stone is called lithic and chopper, chal. So this is copper plus stone. In Hindi, it is called ताम्रपाषाणिक काल, Chalcolithic age. Sir couldn't note down Neolithic sites. Note down. What is the problem? Mehergarh, Koldehwa and Chiral, Burzahom, Gufukharal, Kashmir, Neolithic sites. This is the pottery that was in the Neolithic period. And this is Tamrapashanik Kal. Tamrapashanik Kal. Chalcolithic age. Means the age when stone and copper was used together, called Chalcolithic age. Clear? Tamrapashanik means here one the first metal, the first metal which was used in tools was copper. And this period roughly, here timeline is important, 5000 BC. पार्ट बुरियल मीन्स मरने के बाद अस्थि कलश, हड्डियों को बर्तन में रख के उसे दफना देना, पॉट बुरियल. कफिन बुरियल, पॉट बुरियल, will tell you in the Harappa, all these three burials are there. पॉट माने बर्तन, बुरियल माने दफनाना. क्लियर? Chalcolithic age also comes under prehistory. Proto-history will start from IVC. Chalcolithic age. People were from rural background. Area. Number one, Ahar. Ahar is in Rajasthan. Ancient name of Ahar is Tamravati. Tamravati. ताम्रवती मीन्स तांबा था वहां पे. सेकेंड एरिया इज गिलुंद, आल्सो इन राजस्थान. थर्ड एरिया दैमाबाद, महाराष्ट्र. इनाम गांव, महाराष्ट्र. नवदा टोली, महाराष्ट्र. जोरवे, महाराष्ट्र. एंड वन मोर, मालवा, मध्य प्रदेश. कैथा, Madhya Pradesh. These are the area from where the Chalcolithic tools are obtained. Ahar, Rajasthan. The ancient name of Ahar is Tamravati, Tambao. Gilund, Rajasthan. Daimabad, Inamgaon, Nauda Toli, Jorve, these all in Maharashtra. Malwa and Kaitha. I would like to tell you, it happens in the history that the period is also characterized by that place. So here pottery is very famous. So it is called Jorve culture. It is also called Jorve culture. Jorve culture. So if Jorve culture go to the mind, that it is talking about Chalcolithic. And due to this, it is also called Kaitha culture. Called. But these all are Chalcolithic sites. Chalcolithic sites. Write down. It was the Chalcolithic is people first time brought rural settlement, rural village settlement in Indian subcontinent. And one more fact here, that Daimabad, from Daimabad, some bronze object is obtained. So please write down, these are the Chalcolithic or Chalcolithic sites. Not only, no, just a minute. Not only this, from Daimabad we have also a reference of bronze object And it were the Chalcolithic people who first time brought the rural settlement, village settlement in Indian subcontinent. So this is Chalcolithic period. More than that, nothing is required. 1 point. Second point, you will come across here and there that, sir, it was in Chalcolithic, it is in IVC, it is there in the later period. Yes, because from there we have a reference of all those periods. Suppose that stone tools is obtained, so means it was in Stone Age. Copper and stone tool is obtained, okay, means Chalcolithic was also there. Some other objects are obtained, okay, that period was also existing. So it happens in history at one place. We find different settlement. Okay. So this is all about Stone Age and Chalcolithic. कभी कभी क्वेश्चन आ जाते हैं, तो इतना सफिशिएंट है. क्लियर? एंड नाउ proto history means where written thing is required but is available, but we are not in a position to read it. That is called proto history. Prehistory, no written source. Proto history, written source, but we are not able to read it. Like Indus Valley civilization, the script is there, but we are not in a position to read it. That is called proto history. And history, we can read, write everything. क्राफ्ट का मतलब होता है वस्तुएं, वस्तुएं, वस्तुएं. क्लियर? थैंक्स सर. Junagadh inscription is in Gujarat, Saurashtra region, and this inscription belongs to Rudradaman, who was a Saka ruler, and this inscription is in chaste Sanskrit, means purest form of Sanskrit. Okay. Thank you. Namaste.